this episode of Prairie Pursuit, we're heading to southern Saskatchewan. I got drawn for mule deer in Zone 1. It's an area we hunt about 2 hours directly south of Regina along the Saskatchewan and North Dakota border. It's an area known for a lot of deer and a lot of big bucks.
Bushnell's Prairie Pursuit is brought to you by Bushnell Canada, Hornady, Black Rock Automation, JB's Sausage Maker Supplies, Ultimate ATV and Off-Road Training, OK Tire Park Street Regina, Trail Runners Canine Training Center and Labradors, Butcher's Best, Capital Auto Mall, Customize, North Pro Sports, Rev Energy Services, and these fine sponsors.
I got drawn south of Regina, Zone 1. It's early November, so the later into the season, the more deer activity we're gonna see. Mule deer typically rut a little later than the whitetails. Alex had phoned me, in the spring when the draws came out to ask where he should put in for mule deer. He never had a chance to hunt them before. He was new to the province about 3 years ago. I was pretty familiar with that zone, so I suggested that he put in for Zone 1. He did, and he got drawn. I also got drawn, along with a good buddy of mine, his daughter, Riley. So the first couple days of mule deer was dedicated to Alex. He's a busy man. He just transferred, took a new job, and didn't have a whole lot of time to hunt. We hunted hard the first morning, saw some nice bucks, passed on a few.
Not a monster,
but nothing that he was really interested in.
Too small or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
I know we can get bigger.
We've seen much bigger today so far, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's 2 or 3 in there. 4 of them. Oh, there's a nice buck behind him.
You know, by mid-afternoon, he came to me and he just said, Mike, I gotta shoot the first nice buck I see. I don't have a whole lot of time to hunt. He had to head home the next day, so I took him into a spot that I know holds a lot of deer.
There's a buck across the way.
We weren't sitting down in that spot for more than 5 minutes, and a couple does popped up, and behind the does was a big 3x3.
That's a nice buck.
Tall, skinny rack, but pretty cool. Not a deer that you see every day. In this area, you know, we typically see mule deer in that 150, 160 class pretty regularly, and this probably would have been in that range, but just a tall, typical 3x3, which is pretty cool. And before we knew it, the deer had kind of turned and went the other way. At the same time, we ended up seeing another big buck across a valley about 400 to 500 yards away. A nice 4x3, and there's a couple smaller bucks. And as soon as Alex saw that one, he knew that was the one he was going to shoot.
I lost him. What's the range, Mike?
I think I ranged it somewhere around that 380 yards.
375.
I know Alex is a very good shooter. He does a lot of shooting, and I was pretty confident that if he had a good shot at that range, he was going to take that shot.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm on him.
And he did. And he made a great shot.
Nailed it. In the chest. Chest shot.
He's moving right.
But as soon as he shot, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. He shot and there was deer busting everywhere. His deer went down to the right, and before I knew it, I'd seen 3 or 4 other deer in the frame. I couldn't even tell which deer is his anymore. There was a couple little spikers, and there was one that looked very similar. And you just don't know what the shot was. If it was a good hit, if he missed, if the deer was down in the valley, you just don't know. But we had deer running everywhere.
Oh, you're going around the hill here. There's some nice bucks in there. There's 4 nice bucks came up. Hindsight, maybe we should have snuck down in and got a closer look at some of them.
So we went to take a walk and look for some blood or any sign that he had hit this deer.
Pretty tough shot. Well, let's go take a look.
Again, I was pretty sure. I was watching through my Bushnells, and I had ranged it. I was pretty sure he made a good hit. We replayed the video, and as soon as I replayed the video, you could see that solid hit right in the chest. So we went down the hill looking for this mule deer.
Here's the rock. He was standing right here. He must have gone that way. Mike's over here. Hi guys, my name is Alex. I'm with Mike Bork. And yeah, Mike's actually the one who brought me to my first whitetail hunt. So I shot a nice little buck back in the days, and then he brought me for mule deer hunting here in the Big Muddy, Saskatchewan. And yeah, we got a drop on this one.
Nailed it. In the chest. Chest shot.
He's moving right.
I wasn't very sure if I hit him or not at that distance. He took off to the right, the rest of the bucks took off to the left.
Oh, you're going around the hill here. Pretty tough shot. Well, let's go take a look.
We had a hard time finding any tracks or any blood trails or anything, so we was kind of losing hope. But then we started looking at the footage and then could see that he flinched. Kind of looked like he got hit in the chest area, and he took off to the right. And then from looking from the video, we never saw him coming out. So we also used the terrain in the video, and kind of once we walked that 400 meter-ish, it was kind of hard to see, to feel exactly where the hit had come up. So we found some rocks, some landmarks, basically, and then we were able to retrack where he got shot and where he ended up, and he ended up running for maybe 50 yards and dropping there, and that's where we found him.
Mike's over here. He's down there, Mike.
Oh, yes. Nice shot. Is it a king?
Yeah. He did. Chest shot.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Nice rack on him.
That's a beautiful deer.
Look at the body on him.
Huge body, hey? Great shot. Great shot. How's that for your first mule deer?
It's pretty good.
I guess so.
I thought I missed, but
Nice work. Job well done.
And now I knew it was my time to hunt. I was pretty focused on getting Alex his. And the thing with mule deer is this season is the first 2 weeks of November. So from the November 1st to the 14th is rifle season. And with mule deer, they kind of rut later in the month. So the longer into the season things go, the more buck activity and the more these deer are on the feed. So I knew that as the season progressed, we're going to start seeing a lot more deer, some bigger bucks, more numbers, and I just couldn't wait for the next day. Again, we hunted the similar areas.
Southern Saskatchewan. The Big Muddy.
I'd seen a lot of big bucks. Every year I hunt down there. I take family and friends down the same area, and I see big bucks every year. Bucks in excess of 200 inches. So I know they're there. It didn't take us long that morning, and I probably had 180, 190 inch mule deer at about 300 yards. Yeah. Man, that was a tough one. I proned out. I had that thing in my sights for probably 3 or 4 minutes, and I didn't know if I should shoot it, let it go, and what's that? Yeah. You know, I knew it was only day 2. It was the second day in November. I knew we still had, almost 2 weeks left to hunt. And I decided to let that one walk.
I think we'll let him go and see if we can find a bigger one. Nice deer, though.
As soon as I let him go, I immediately questioned my decision. Anybody would love to take this buck.
I'm not gonna shoot him, though.
But I did not let it go. Fast forward to about the second last day of the season, and here I am still with the tag in my pocket, thinking of all those missed opportunities, thinking of that buck I seen on day 2, and now panic was setting in. I've got to say my new favorite toy this week has been this Bushnell Fusion 1 Mile. It's a rangefinder and binoculars in one. To be able to, scan the valley and then find an animal and instantly range it is fantastic. And I kind of knew when I got drawn for mule deer where I'd be hunting and the terrain I'd be hunting, and a good set of optics was going to be critical. When Paul phoned me and said his daughter Riley had got drawn for 2 antlerless mule deer tags, I knew right away I was going to take her out. She's 13. She just took her hunter safety, and what a better way to get introduced to this than getting a mule deer tag. We know there's a lot of deer, there's a lot of opportunities. Her and my daughter have come down with us in the past, so they knew what it was about. They knew that we'd be doing some hiking in the hills. They knew we'd see a lot of animals, so it was a perfect opportunity for her to get involved in this one. And it's an opportunity I wasn't going to miss. And I thought, hey, why not get this one on video? Your first animal, your very first tag, to get that on camera is pretty cool. I'm here with Riley Benson. She's got drawn for her first ever tag. So she's got 2 antlerless mule deer tags. So we're out here in the Big Muddy. I've got a either sex tag looking for a big buck, and Riley's looking for her first mule deer. How's it been so far this morning, Riley?
Pretty good. It's pretty cold, but...
It is cold. I think with the wind chill right now, it was about -27 this morning. We spent the first couple hours glassing some valleys. We saw a few bucks, lots of does. No bucks that we really want to go after just yet. It's only early in the day. I think now we've got a few coulees here behind us. I think the deer are bedded down inside these coulees. It's pretty windy up here. So we're gonna drop down in and see if we can't find a few of these. Are you ready to go? You think you're gonna get one?
Yep.
Have we seen a few this morning?
Yep.
Are you getting anxious?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Yep.
You be able to keep the gun steady?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hope so.
All right, I think you'll do a good job. Well, let's go see if we can find a few deer and get one for you and one for me. Yeah. All right, let's do it. But the challenge now with a new hunter is getting her to the spot where she can feel comfortable taking that shot. If we just hiked 2 or 3 valleys, getting her breathing in order. And then the other thing on my mind, or the biggest thing on my mind, was I want her to make a good, clean, ethical shot for her own well-being, right? She's a new hunter, and if you hunt long enough, you're gonna wound an animal, and that's not what I want her first experience to be. So we had several mule deer opportunities, lots of encounters with some does, but it took her a while to get set up. As the days went on, as the time went on, you could see her get a little more confident, getting her sights lined up, getting her stance, getting her breathing. I could see that growing as the day went on. And we were able to connect with these 2 mule deer. I have a good feeling the next little valley we see, we'll find one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
could still be there because I didn't see them come out.
We kind of snuck up about 125, 150 yards away, just coming through. See it walking through the trees, and it just came out of the trees. And as soon as it came out of the trees, Riley laid the hammer down on this thing, and it dropped in its tracks.
Drilled her, buddy.
We got her.
There was one doe standing on the side of a hill. And I had my binoculars, and Riley took the shot, and just by the way it reacted, I was pretty confident.
Let's go down.
Good job, she's down. Yeah, good job, Riley. Nice shot. All right, I'm with Riley Benson, 13-year-old Riley Benson. Took her hunter safety course last spring.
Yep.
And this year she got drawn here in Zone 1 for 2 antlerless mule deer. It's Remembrance Day, and Riley got her first 2 deer in the ground on the first afternoon. How do you feel, Riley?
Very good. It's pretty cool.
Congratulations, Riley.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thanks,
Glad
Mike.
you're going. Thank you. And now I knew it was my time to hunt. It's the second last day of the season, my last day to hunt.
A lot of people think the prairies are just bald and flat, but once you start navigating through this country, there's valleys and coulees and little crevices everywhere. It's kind of neat country, actually. Plus, it's my favorite country. I'm always curious to see what's over the next hill. Hopefully a big buck.
I got a call from a buddy that afternoon who said if I still had a tag in my pocket, because he was just driving through the country and he saw a big buck bedded down with some does. And as soon as I got that phone call, I thought, you know what, this guy travels these roads pretty regularly. If he says there's a big buck in the area, it's probably a good chance it's a big buck. So Paul and I drove over, and we drove up through that area once, didn't see it. And coming back a second time, I had seen a couple does stand up, and he was there.
There he is there.
We came up with a game plan to make that stalk. The only problem was he was with, I think, 4 or 5 other does, and there's a valley between him and I. And when I ranged him, he was around that 380, 370, 380 mark, which I'm pretty comfortable shooting. I do a lot of shooting. I was pretty comfortable with that range. I didn't think I could sneak in any closer with all the does bedded around him. It's kind of like they were guarding him. You'll see at one point when he stands up, he goes right in the middle of the herd of all these does, as if they're his guard. So that was after about 30 minutes. So we wait again, and about 20 minutes later, we decided to make a little plan. So Paul stands up and brings the camera towards where I'm at, and that little commotion kind of gets the deer on their feet again. And I was fortunate enough to make a good shot. The deer dropped, and that was it. Second last day to get that on camera was pretty exciting.
Prairie Pursuit, baby. Southern Saskatchewan. Awesome. I love this place. When I was in university, I dreamed of coming out here to Saskatchewan to hunt. And to be able to live it now, to be out here for the last 10 years living this dream is fantastic. This year we've been chasing mule deer, whitetail, an abundance of waterfowl. We shot a huge moose with my buddy last week, Paul. We've got elk. We still have an elk tag to fill. It's awesome. It's unbelievable out here. Southern Saskatchewan, yeah, Saskatchewan in general, but Southern Saskatchewan for mule deer has got to be some of the best in the world, hands down. Just got our deer loaded up. That wraps up the season for mule deer. We had a good week. Lots of great footage. Lots of animals. We saw hundreds of deer in the last couple of weeks. Had lots of opportunities. We put on a lot of miles. It was a lot of fun. Whitetail season starts on Friday. We'll switch gears now and go chase some whitetails. We've got a few whitetails on camera. We've been watching a few the last few months. We'll see if we can't tag out and find a whitetail next. But Mule Deer 2019 was a heck of a season. Good company, lots of travels. It was fun. The only disappointment is it's gonna be another 7 years or so before I get drawn again. But you can bet we'll be back down next fall chasing them with a bow. That's a ton of fun too. 2019 wrapped up. Mule Deer, Prairie Pursuit.
Bushnell's Prairie Pursuit is brought to you by Bushnell Canada, Hornady, Black Rock Automation, JB's Sausage Maker Supplies, Ultimate ATV and Off-Road Training, OK Tire Park Street Regina, Trail Runners Canine Training Center and Labradors, Butcher's Best, Capital Auto Mall, Customize, North Pro Sports, Rev Energy Services, and these fine sponsors.